Hi guys, welcome back to the Makeup Hunter. I'm Laura. In today's video I'm finally getting round to doing my project pan introduction and my low buy. So if that sounds like something you would be interested in watching, then please keep watching. Also, if you haven't already, please subscribe to this channel, to me. Give me a like if you enjoy what you see, and leave me a comment. I really do enjoy getting to know the people in my comments and having a chat there. So as I say, if you are interested in seeing what's in my project pan and how I'm going to be doing my low buy, then please keep watching. Okay, so as I said in the introduction, in today's video I am going to be doing the introduction to my project pan. I know that most people start their project pans in the new year. They tend to do them for 12 months or a specified period and do monthly check-ins. I started doing my project pan in January, but became quite disillusioned with the ideas of project pan, shop my stash, low buys. I talked about all this in a get ready with me video, and I decided to scrap the idea. I would just use what makeup I wanted when I wanted and just sort of go with it, basically. After the last couple of months of wearing more makeup, you know, watching more project pan, shop my stash content, I have realised there is a lot of merit to be given to doing a project pan and shop my stash. I just feel like I was doing it for the wrong reasons and in a way that didn't work for me. So I've rethought it, and I've already posted a video showing my shop my stash. I'm doing a monthly shop my stash basket. I shall do a roundup of the products I've used each month. I'm also doing a themed shop my stash, giving myself a goal of how many times I wear makeup and sort of pushing myself to use my collection more. So that's the shop my stash. With my project pan, I've decided to do a project 10 pan. So I've selected 10 items that I'm going to focus on using up as much as possible. I'm going to do it for a rolling period. So say I started at the beginning of April, so say April to the end of the year, but I'm just going to roll it. So as soon as I use up one product, I shall roll in a product to replace it. Doesn't necessarily have to be the same category of products, it's just going to be a one in, one out, sort of one out, one in kind of basis. So as I say, I've picked 10 products and I started this privately at the beginning of April. I was recording it on my Instagram and I wasn't gonna do a video about it, but I thought it would be a good way to sort of hold myself accountable with the products that I'm using. So the only issue that we're gonna have is I started in April, but I'm going to be showing you the products today, which the day I'm filming this is the 13th of April, but I have only worn makeup 6 times so far, but I have been keeping a spreadsheet on my phone with usage, so I can tell you how many times I've used each item and show you kind of what I've got in it. So basically what I'm saying is I haven't got an image to show you of when I started using the product. I can only go from today, but I can tell you how many times I've used each product since April. So we'll do my project pan first of all, and then I'll talk about my LiQWYD at the end. So the first product that is in my project 10 pan is the Mark Hill Big Blow Spray. This is a just a volumizing spray that you put in before you blow dry your hair. It says thicker, fuller volume spray. Thicker, fuller hair is just a plump away. There's 125 ml in this, and I've had this for a very long time. I'm not very good with hair products. I don't use a lot of products in my hair. I tend to just use oil before I dry my hair, but I have got quite a lot of hair products in my collection, so I am trying to have hair products as a main focus throughout these project pan that I'm going to be doing. So I marked it when I very first started using this. I've had this in since the beginning of the year, and I've sort of marked it down to where it is now, which is this red mark. So I've used a fair bit of it, but I am now properly concentrating on it. So this is the mark for today, and since the beginning of April I have used this 7 times. I'm slightly worried that it's actually expired, because I've noticed that when over the last couple of weeks, every time I wash my hair, within 24 hours it's greasy at the roots, and I don't usually have particularly greasy hair. So I'm not sure if it's this that's the culprit, or if it's possibly just a change in hormones. So today what I did was, rather than use it on my roots, I just sprayed it into the lengths of my hair and sort of scrunched it up before I blow dried it. I don't want to just give up on this and throw it away, so I am gonna try and use this up. Next I've got the Superdrug Vitamin E SPF 15 Radiance Moisture Cream. This is just a moisturiser for normal to dry skin that has a very small amount of SPF in it. This was in my professional makeup kit. It was the moisturiser that I would put on clients to prep their skin. I've marked it today, and it's about halfway, just over halfway down, but obviously these don't come full to the top. So this is rich in natural vitamin E, high in antioxidants for normal to dry skin. This is 50 ml. I like this for over the top of my very glowy serums or facial oils, because it's quite a light moisturiser, but it does provide enough moisture for my makeup to sit on top nicely. So I'm not using this every single time I use moisturiser. Some days my skin just needs something a bit heavier. At night I use retinol products, so I just use this on occasions, but I am pretty much die hard to beauty pie skincare, so I'm trying to use up and get out of my collection any skincare that isn't beauty pie. So this will probably take quite a while to use up, whereas this This could take me to the end of the year, and this may even take me into next year, but we'll just see how it goes. Because this is the very first time I'm doing a project pan, I'm not really sure how long it takes to use up products, and I know that a lot of people who do project panning say that one of the biggest things that they learn is how long it takes to use up products, that it takes a lot longer than you think. So then I've got the Estee Lauder Revitalising Supreme Eye Balm. This is a global anti-aging cell power eye balm. This was a Christmas gift. I've had this for quite a while as well, and for the same reason as the vitamin E Superdrug cream, I just die hard for beauty pie skincare, so I just want to get this used up and out of my collection. I do like this eye cream. The only thing that I can say that's a negative about it is it's got shimmer particles in it, so that's lovely for illuminating under the eye, but it's not the best for, I feel, for going to sleep in, because it's like using an illuminator on your skin before bed. So I tend to just now keep this for the daytime. Another thing as well is I do find my mascara transfers quite a lot if I use too much of this, so I have to be really careful with how much I use. This is really hard to sort of show you how much is left. If I hold the torch to my phone underneath, you might be able to see that it's basically there doesn't look like there's a huge amount left in there, but it's sort of, it's up the side, and I use such a small amount of this that I do think this will take me a while to use up. There is, like I say, there is a fair old amount left in there, and it's such a rich eye cream that you just need such a small amount. I forgot to mention the usages on those last two. So on the vitamin E day cream, I've only used this 3 times since the beginning of April. It was 7 times on the Big Blow and 7 times on the eye cream. Now I have all makeup products. So this is MAC Strobe Cream. This is in the shade Pink Light. I want to get this out of my collection because I did have 2 of these. I had the original Strobe Cream and the pink one, and the original one did go bad on me, so I'm just conscious that I have had this for quite a while, so I want to get it used up before it goes bad. I can actually see, because the light's shining, the ring light is shining through it, that it is about here. It's about halfway probably full. I will probably get through this by the end of the year. It wasn't in my Shop My Stash, but I am going to just add it to my Shop My Stash to start getting, getting it used up and out of my collection. I haven't used that at all since the beginning of April. The next item that isn't in my Shop My Stash, but I'm now going to add it, and I haven't used it at all since April, is my MAC Studio Fix Fluid Foundation. This is in the shade NW13. This is another one that is one of the older foundations in my collection. It is impossible to see how much I've got in here unless I sort of try and stick something down the bottle. And I have quite shaky hands, so I think I'll probably like get it everywhere. But if I'm sort of trying to guess by the weight, I would say there's about just over a quarter of this left, because I have used this quite a lot. I'm really tempted to stick something down it to sort of see how much is in there. No, I'm not going to, because it's not hygienic, and two, I think I'll just make a big mess. So I've tried putting my flashlight underneath it, holding it up to the light. It's always stored standing up, but I can't tell how much is in there. So this may take a while to use up, or it may be used up quite quickly. But as I say, I haven't used that at all since April, so this is definitely a proper jumping off point for this one. The foundation that I have been focusing on since the beginning of April is my Makeup Forever Ultra HD stick. This is in the shade R230 or 115. This is the oldest foundation in my collection. It's the foundation that I'm wearing today. I do really like this foundation, but as I say, it is the oldest one in my collection. I've wound it right down so you can see how much I've used of it, and this is how much I've got left. And it takes a while to use this, even though that looks like there's only a tiny amount of product in there. I feel like it's not gone down at all since I started trying to use it up. I've used this one, I think 4 times. Yeah, 4 times since the beginning of April, and that's including tonight. So that is one I am determined, more than any of these things probably, to use this foundation up. Next is my concealer, which is in my Shop My Stash. It's the Revolution Conceal and Define. This is in the shade C9. Now, this was in my professional kit and it isn't my shade at all, but I have been enjoying using this mixed with the shade C1 because it's almost got a pinky peach tone to it. I do find it's really good for under my eyes for brightening, and with a little bit of C1 dotted into it, it's the perfect shade. I have no idea how much is in here. In these types of components it's really hard to tell, but I would say this is pretty full, because when I started using it at the beginning of March, this still had the cellophane wrapper on it. In the month of April, since I started focusing on these, I've used it 5 times, so I've got a feeling I'll have this around for quite some time. Next up is my Benefit Hoola Quickie contour stick. Now this is one I was umming and ahhing about whether to put in this project or not, because I actually really love this product, and that was one of the mistakes that I made previously when I tried to pan items at the beginning of the year. I was trying to pan items that I didn't enjoy, so I wanted them out of my collection, but I didn't want to waste them, and I found that I was just not looking forward to using the products. They call it hate panning, and I really was doing that. So I just made the decision to declutter the items and put in products that I know work for me, that I enjoy using. The only ones that I'm not 100% in love with are the moisturiser, the eye cream, and only very recently the big blow spray, because I'm concerned it's what's making my hair greasy. Everything else I really enjoy and I don't have a problem using it. It's same with the moisturiser. I don't have an issue using this moisturiser, it's just not my favourite. But the Hoola Quickie contour stick I absolutely love. This is how much I've used. I've got this in, all of these will be in my Shop My Stash if they're not already. I'm only adding to the Shop My Stash the MAC Studio Fix Fluid and the MAC Strobe Cream. Everything else was already in my Shop My Stash bag. This is how much I've got left of this. I've got a feeling this will take quite a while to use up. As I say, I absolutely love this product. It's so creamy, it blends lovely. I'm wearing it today. It's a lovely colour, it can be built up. I have used that 5 times since the beginning of April. And then the last 2 items in my project pan, sorry, are powders. I have my MAC Mineralised Skin Finish in the shade Light Plus. This is so old, it's the old original packaging, so that gives you an idea of how old it is if you know anything about MAC packaging. I have hit pan on this. Not sure, there you go, you can see what kind of pan I've got, and I've got, it's pretty much, this was domed, so it's gone right flat down all around. I was originally going to declutter this from my collection, but I do really like this powder. There's nothing wrong with it, it still performs absolutely lovely, and I do just enjoy the formula. So I was originally going to just try and get a decent sized pan on it and then declutter it. I think I am going to try and use all this up completely. That is my aim with all of these products, is to use them up completely. So that's that one. And then the next item is another one that I had decluttered from my collection and then brought back. This is the Inglot HD brightening powder. Obviously you can see I've got a pretty sizable pan in this product. I had decluttered it because I don't love this powder, especially under my eyes. I find that it breaks up under my eyes, and I get a lot of transfer from mascara when I use this. It's like it doesn't set the concealer down properly, but I've been using this on other areas of my face, like down the centre of my face, just to brighten, and it's absolutely fine. So I'm going to try and use this up until it's gone. I didn't say how many times I'd used each of those. So the Inglot HD powder I have used 4 times since the beginning of April, and the MAC Mineralised Skin Finish I have used 3 times since the beginning of April. So that is all of the items that are in my project pan. Now I'll tell you a little bit about my low buy plans. Okay, for my low buy, what I have decided to do, I'd originally put myself on a low buy at the beginning of the year where I was only making 1 purchase a month, and it could be for multiple things, but it could only be in 1 transaction. So for instance, I could go on ASOS and I could buy makeup, shoes, a handbag, clothing, all from the one retailer, but it just had to be in one transaction. What I was finding with that is it gave me too much wiggle room, and I was making really big purchases. So I was waiting all through the month, buying everything I wanted in one transaction, and then little smaller things that I wanted I was just sort of doing sneakily and ordering them and sort of telling myself it didn't count because they were only small purchases. So what I've decided to do now is I've taken inspiration from a YouTuber called I think her channel is Paulina Beauty. She's a big YouTuber, you know, got a big following, so I'm sure you'll have heard of her. And I watched an older video of hers where she was talking about how she was going to try doing a low buy, and what she did was actually set herself a spending an item number goal, which I thought was a really good idea. Now I've done a declutter of my collection, and I've done a makeup inventory. I'm very aware of what's in my collection, what areas I need to reduce, what areas I can afford to get a few more items, so on and so forth. And makeup is where I have a buying issue. I've only just bought clothes this year for the first time, pretty much. I used to be all clothes mad, but since obviously the pandemic I've not been buying clothes, but I've still been buying makeup. In fact, I've bought more makeup than I probably ever have done. So for my spending habits, and I've become very aware of my consumerism and what is going in and out of my collection throughout the years, that I really have got to try and put a rein on my makeup spending. So what I've done is I've written down on another spreadsheet every single category of makeup, and then I've given myself a total of how many I'm allowed to purchase, and I'm only doing this for 6 months, so from the beginning of April to October. I can make as many purchases as I want, but once I fulfill that number of items, I can't purchase anymore. So between the beginning of April and October, I'm not allowed to buy any primers. I have an overwhelming amount of primers in my collection. I think I have 15 or something like that. Yeah, 15 primers in my collection, and for myself, who doesn't always wear primers, that is a number that I'm just not comfortable with. So I don't want to bring any more primers into my collection for the next 6 months. I'm allowed to buy one foundation, and this can be full coverage, skin tint, tinted moisturiser, but only one. I'm allowed 2 concealers / correctors. So for instance, if I find a backup of an alternative to my Becca under eye brightener, I can get one, but I can't get and I can get a concealer, but then that's it, I can't get any more. So I'm allowed 2 concealers or correctors. No powders. I'm completely overwhelmed by the amount of pressed and loose powders in my collection, so I don't want to bring any more on board. I'm allowed 1 cream bronzer or contour product. I've got a feeling it'll probably be a cream bronzer that I decide to pick up, especially in the warmer months when we start seeing more cream products coming onto the market. I'm allowed 1 powder bronzer, zero brow products because I'm just not using stuff in my brows that much anymore, and I've got so many already. I need to focus on using up what I've got. No eye primers. I've just had 2 new ones come into my collection. I hauled the one Be Perfect one, and my mum gave me a full-size Urban Decay primer potion, so I don't need any more of those. I'm allowing myself 4 eyeshadow palettes. I originally thought 3, but then I thought no, I won't stick to it. I know I won't. And I would like to update and say I've already purchased 2 out of those 4, the new BH Cosmetics palettes. If I fail on this low buy, it's going to be on palettes or lip products like lipsticks. I think that is where I'm going to fail. So I'm only allowed to buy now, between now and October, 2 more eyeshadow palettes, so I've really got to be super careful. No mascaras. I've just had a load come into my collection from my mum, so I don't need any more. I'm allowed 2 eyeliners, and they will more than likely be coloured eyeliners. I've got plenty of blacks, browns, but I quite fancy some pastel eyeliners, so I'm allowing myself 2. 2 cream blush, no powder blush, and I've already purchased those 2 cream blush. I got the 2 Melt Cosmetics cream blushes, and I'm already wishing I'd increase this number because I want more of the Melt blushes, but I'm not going to get them. I've bought my 2. I've got to wait until the end of the year. I'm allowed 1 cream highlight and 1 powder highlight, 2 lip liners, 4 lipsticks. This is going to be where I'm going to struggle. Luckily I just bought all of those Milani Colour Fetish lipsticks, so the only thing that's sort of tempting me at the moment is I want to get some more colours. Well, I want to get the rest of the colours from that range, but I'm not going to. I'm going to hold out and see what's released in the summer months. And 1 setting spray. I have 5 setting sprays in my collection, and 3 of those are very shimmery, so I kind of want to get something like the Urban Decay All Nighter, something that's really gonna lock in makeup rather than add illumination. So that's my list complete. So my low buy started from the 1st of April and will finish at the beginning of October. So as promised, I've done my project pan, I've done my low buy. I'm getting these videos out, I'm setting myself goals and I'm succeeding with them. Now if I could just get my subscriber count up, that would be amazing. The makeup look I'm wearing today is from my Juicy Fruit series. It is passion fruit martini, so that is my eye look today. It is now 1:30 in the morning, so I'm going to go and wash my face and get into bed. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. As always, I really do appreciate everybody that takes the time to sit through one of my videos. I know I have verbal diarrhea and can talk for England, but it's makeup, and makeup is my #1 passion. I could talk and talk and talk about it, and I do. So yeah, thank you very much for watching. Please subscribe to me if you haven't already. Give me a like if you enjoyed this video. Hit that notification bell to be reminded on the rare occasions that I upload to this channel. Keep loving yourself, keep loving each other. I love you, and I'll see you next time. Bye.